folks, Matt the Cruz from Domain Maven Studio, themesroom.com. We are interviewing and chatting with Jeffrey Smith from SEO Design Solutions. He's been kind enough to fly up to Arizona to the secret TZ Labs just to assist us in refining the TZ DWS version 3, i.e. looking at the interfaces, advanced modules, and making sure that the new suite is good enough to refine and assist him in his business, just to accelerate things, but to also help the man on the street, the individual who wants to build a site and make money and achieve results online.
So I can honestly say that we spent well over 2.5 hours just going over the refinements and the changes that were made to the 3.0 suite. I've got lots of questions,
sure,
but most importantly, the graphic user interface is the first thing that I think is of extreme importance, because I know there was a lot of people who were having difficulty moving around the old suite, and want to get your feedback on what kind of what inspired that change.
Well, when we started down this road of designing DWS, the original thought was market domination. It was a private project for Sue and myself, where we thought, okay, we're going to build the suite out and we're going to really hit it hard. But as people became aware of it, people wanted to use it. So as many systems go, you have to build it out, and because the SEO is so complex and there's so many moving parts in the whole process, what happens is it took us about 15 months to really unwind the different types of people that actually want to do the same thing.
Sure.
But you're dealing with, like Russell said, it takes 24 months of hard knocks to get to the level of where you're at or longer. And guys are starting off, the market and the things become so complex now. You've got so many things, social media, video, local search, all these elements.
So the commitment to that could be, they could waive it potentially.
Well, which road do you go down?
Right.
And is it the right road? And am I going to make money? I've only got a few $100s to spend. So we had to create the interface. We had to watch and see how people interacted with it, watch what the challenges were, where were they getting stuck, and then we had to sit and unwind it all.
Sure.
So that's what I specialize in, is going in, finding the process and breaking it down into the smallest components and then reassembling it all. Gotcha. So with the learnings we got, we identified where the different people were at and what they required. So then from that we could start building. But the interface was just too clunky and chunky. There was just too many moving parts.
Can you explain some of the refinements that you've made, for example?
Well, with 3.0, I want to just do the job. I don't want to hop from this tab to that screen, go here, import this, output that, do this, do that. It's just too much stuff. I just want to put my keyword in, look at my interface, move the keywords to where I want them in my silo, make sure everything's right. Is this going to make me money? Look at the financial assumptions and just get the job done, publish it to my blog, get the site up.
Now, I also know that we're going to do something with the ability to instantly publish.
Yes.
There's going to be sort of a feedback mechanism between the mothership, if you will, and then the satellite blogs, if you will.
Yes, that's correct. As promised with 3.0, Sue and I wanted to bring all the automation together. So we wanted to take the power of the last keyword tool and Kraken. So if Kraken looks at the vertical market, it goes from top down and it drills deep.
Yes.
Whereas the last keyword tool is basically horizontal.
Yes.
It goes wide. And you can decide how wide you want to basically look at the data set using the Larry algorithms, the local aggregate relevant index.
Yes.
So if you've got a high Larry, you can really refine it, so you're actually looking at a small sector within it. Or if you've got a low Larry, the ring becomes wider. So it's almost like a crosshairs on a rifle, what we do now with merging the two technologies together.
Yes.
To bring the data back. And then with DWS, we're using that to bring the business side of things into it. So we're looking at conversions and what is the money aspects of doing this project, how much it's going to cost me, how much time do I need to invest. So the interface became really important, where we've got 4 different layers. So your layer being right at the bottom with the most requirements because of the different types of jobs you need to do.
Sure.
Effectively. But for the man who's at the top of the layer, if you think of it as a triangle, his requirement is he needs to basically build out a single silo, put up his stuff. So you come up, if he's doing affiliate marketing, he'll put his offers in, get it up. He's targeting niches and small things, usually under 200,000 competing pages.
Right.
That's the typical market that he's coming in. So what we've done for the guys there is they can come in and just key in a keyword, Kraken bring based information. If they don't know how to map out the silo, they'll press the button, assist me, and it'll just construct from the data that's come back, it'll just take the silo and bolt on the 5 articles that he needs. Then there'll be a plugin that he puts into his blog, and he'll just say, log in his username, password, synchronize, and his blog will speak back to DWS. So what happens is his blog becomes the element that sits over here, but he's working on his control panel.
Yeah.
So he's working here, he's doing what he has to do, and all his data is being ported across to the blog. He's not even logging into the blog. It's just pushing it into his blog, and he's watching how his rankings are moving up and down. So depending on what he subscribes to, excuse me, he can subscribe to the PKMM, which is a new model we're releasing, which watches his rankings and the syndication of his content and the effect thereof. And depending on how he's climbing up, it adjusts how much more marketing and promotion he's got to do.
So the good thing about this is, for example, say you're sitting at the number 3 position for a keyword. At that point, you've been buoyant, you're moving up, everything's working well. You might shift your attention slightly to something else, and you realize that you've just been bumped 2 positions from somebody else. The great thing about the perpetual keyword money machine, or the PKMM module, is it's going to alert you of that. It's also going to make adjustments and tell you what you need to syndicate, do you need more content, do you need more links, etc., and manage that entire process. So at least it brings that to your attention.
Yeah, well, if you think of it in the simplest forms, there's a lot of talk of millions of pages on the web, which is true. There's talk of the index of 1,000, the sandbox, all this kind of stuff. But in reality, all you're contending with is the guys in the top 3 to 5 positions, because that's the traffic band.
Yes.
And you need to get from there to there as fast as possible. So once you're in there, the PKMM is actually watching your progress as you move. And from your dashboard, you can see the progression, but you can also set it up to actually send your email notification. And as the schedule runs out and broadcasts emails, if someone is fighting with you for that position and they bump you off that position, when you get notified, it will say to you, you've dropped in your rankings, you need to do X, Y, and Z. So i.e., maybe you need to boost one of the articles and focus on refining that more to push yourself back up.
And it's actually built from the rules engine that is effectively controlling what when you are allowed to input the filters for your conversion data, for the competing pages, for the total monthly search volume, all this information, which before in the 2.5 module you'd have to do manually. All that's going to get pulled in as a result of the new interface.
The amount of input that you're actually going to be doing in 3.0 is going to be minimal. It's going to be more thinking of what you're doing rather than filling in spreadsheets, converting it to a text file and importing it.
Beautiful.
Because we had to go and unwind what the guys are battling with. Because when you design these applications, you can build what you think is best, but the user that uses it, it's what he needs. It's not what you think.
Sure.
And we had to learn what that was.
And the downside is that these were built for power users, and not everybody's a power user. So it's like trying to unravel the coil. So it's the best of both worlds. You still have the strength of the application, but you're not giving up any of the actual benefits. You're just making it easier for everybody to move around.
Yeah, we're giving the guys what they need. We're trying to meet the people where they're at. So if that was the triangle, if your requirement is only a small requirement, we are catering to that now. There's no point overwhelming you with all the other data that's not relevant to your world.
Sure.
So as you're dropping down the band to get to the agency or the power users, your requirement becomes much more vast because you've got multiple clients. You've got bigger, tougher KPIs to meet. So that's what the whole thing with 3.0 is to meet you where you're at.
Nice. Well, thank you for answering those questions. All I can say is those of you that have not involved yourself with the Domain Web Studio project at this point, I encourage you to sign up now before literally before it's pulled off the menu. All I can say is 3.0 is amazing, and I look forward to seeing you all on the inside.
Thanks a lot, Jeffrey.
Thank you, Matt.
Cheers.